A couple weeks ago, I talked about some of the challenges we face when we talk about managing potassium. Today, I'm going to lay out exactly what some of those challenges are and how we might want to think about when we apply potassium to make sure we get it most effectively into the plant and optimize its use when we talk about the growing season. Hi, I'm Mike Zwingman, Agronomy R&D Manager for Central Valley Ag. This is your Monday Agronomy Update video that coincides with the Reach Out article on the CVA blog site. Some of the things that really happen with potassium is the way it gets trapped in the soil. When potassium is exchangeable, it is attached to the cation exchange sites within the clay particles of the soil. Depending on what kind of clay we have is really going to depend on how tightly that's bound. But a lot of people think that a clay particle looks like your fist and it only attaches to the outside. What really happens with potassium is it gets trapped between the two layers of the clay, or the colloids, and we need it to expand up to really get that potassium to release. The trick is, how do we get potassium to release and get those soil particles to expand? Well, it takes moisture and temperature. We really need to have a moisture above field capacity and have that temperature range of about 65 to 80 degrees to get those soil particles to open up and release that potassium for the plant. If we think about when we apply potassium normally, when soils are drier and cooler, we normally get more attachment to those soil particles and not near as much release. The times where we are both those things, above field capacity and above 65 or 70 degrees, we really need to make sure we're optimizing our potassium rates. So when we talk about using potassium as a fertilizer, one of the things we might think about, and one of the things we're trying in some of the situations out in the field, is applying that potassium in season to see if we can't get better uptake by the corn plant. Because remember, potassium's critical when it comes to the mobilization of nitrogen from the lower end of the plant up to the ear during grain fill, and it's really critical for us to have that potassium in balance with nitrogen throughout the growing season. So I want you to think about your fields and how that potassium release might oscillate throughout the year, and think about different strategies of managing potassium in the future. It's like I said, potassium's the key for us being really good managers of nitrogen from this growing season forward. As always, be safe, and we'll see you next week.